It's rank time! So you did a ton of research on different residencies, you applied to the ones you were interested in, you sent all your supporting documents in, you got offered interviews, you prepared for those interviews, you went to those interviews, and now you're thinking, whew, the hard part is finally done. Well, kind of. You have one more step, which is ranking your residency sites, and I'm not gonna lie, for me it was kind of stressful. So if you're losing sleep over this decision, this video is for you. Let's talk about it. Hey guys, it's Dr. Andreas with another video. If you're new to this channel, my goal here is to help optometry students, residents, and new doctors with optometry related topics. If you're not in optometry, keep watching because this video also applies to any health professional trying to rank their sites on ORMATCH. As always, if you like the video, please consider smashing the like button below, subscribing to my channel, and now onto the video. First off, if you have a list of sites and in that list there are sites you don't think you would be happy there or you don't think you will get the quality education that is worth the pay cut and time you're sacrificing out of career, then just don't rank it. I'm serious. Don't rank it at the bottom of your list because as I've said in the past, if you're ranking a site, you're officially accepting the offer to go to that site if the ORMATCH pairs you together. You can't rank your plan D as a site and then get that email saying you're going to residency D and then you're like, oh, I'd rather not do that. That's it. You're stuck going there. Another reason not to do that is that if you have way too many options to rank from, you might get stressed out or get what's called analysis paralysis, which is basically when you spend so much time analyzing a situation that nothing gets done. So look at your list, eliminate where you wouldn't ever want to go, even if it was the only option, and then look at the sites where you would be willing to go but not super excited about and put those on the bottom of your list. In my scenario, after my 8 interviews, I eliminated 4 of those sites, which led me to only having to decide between 4 sites, which is a lot stressful than 8. But 4 sites does mean 24 possible ranking orders, so on to my next tip. Tip number 2, make a pros and cons list. Yes, this sounds pretty basic, but it really helps. Comparing different sites may seem like comparing apples to oranges, especially when things like geographical location are taken into effect. But in reality, if you make a pros and cons list, it'll help you organize your thoughts, and it may highlight certain sites that may have more cons than you realize, and vice versa. I actually did this. Here is my Excel document that I found in my laptop from February 2019 when I was questioning how to rank my 8 sites. Of course, I removed the names as to not call out anybody, but this list was definitely helpful in gauging which aspects that I value the most and which ones are almost deal breakers. For example, Site D has quite a few perks, but then there's that one con that seemed like a pretty big one to me. But anyways, I figured I'd put this on here as an example to show you a few things that you may want to consider about some of your sites. Tip number 3, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I mean rank in terms of preference, not probability. This one is super important because students tend to mess up their ranking order by getting in their heads about which site they think like them more or which site are they less likely to be chosen for reasons like too many applicants or their smart classmate also applied there, or they might say, well, there's only one spot in that site, so they're probably not going to choose me, so maybe I shouldn't rank them number 1. This could be a problem because they may rank Site A, the place they want to go to the most, as number 2 on their list because they think they're not as likely to go there, but they actually end up shooting themselves in the foot because now they end up not going there, even if Site A picked the student. The thing is, the student picked Site B as number 1, and Site B picked the student as number 1 back, so the student matches there instead, and they thus messed up their own rank order. I remember the day after match day when I found out where I was going and also where my friends were going, and we all told each other about our match lists. It was kind of fun to see kind of where everybody's head were at. It was actually very interesting because some people got what they wanted and some people were just shocked at the results. Even if my preceptors later told me that every year they're surprised by how the ORMATCH works and how there have been years where they rank a student highly, they don't get matched with that student, and then that same student later tells them that they also rank them higher. That has happened to one of my good friends. It may have been an anomaly, and of course people could be stretching the truth, but long story short, don't try to rank based on your analysis of the ORMATCH algorithm because it works in mysterious ways, and trying to beat the system is just a losing effort. And I came to the realization that ORMATCH is kind of like Tinder. Alright, stay with me on this. So for the sake of this example, you are a heterosexual girl and you're on Tinder, right? And you match with 5 guys and you're talking to all of them. right? Now your goal is to get a date with the one that you want the most. So you chat with all of them and get their Snapchats because, of course, you don't want to get catfished. And you decide you want to ask out guy A right here. You want to ask out guy A, but guy B is responding to you quicker, so you know you're more likely to get a date with guy B, and he is less likely to cancel at the last minute. So what do you do? Now, in the meantime, guy A, the one you want the most, has matched with you and 4 other girls, and now he's deciding between you, the more desirable girl, versus girl B, who seems more interested and is an easy catch, but is kind of boring. Now, what is ironic is that worst case scenario, right? You pick guy B, who you're not that interested in, but is a sure thing. Guy A, the one you want, picks girl B because she is boring, but also a sure deal. But guy B and girl B, the 2 boring ones, could actually pick each other to go on that date, since they're the better match and they follow their heart instead of convenience and probability. And now you and your dream person end up spending Friday night alone and not with each other because you got out of hand with a mental gymnastics. So if you both just ranked each other number 1 like you were supposed to, you would be in a relationship 6 months later watching The Bachelor on Mondays and making TikToks together. And so that same algorithm is ORMATCH. Moral of the story, just rank all the sites in terms of actually wanting to go there and trust that the residency sites will do the same thing, and the match should hopefully work optimally for almost everybody. Tip number 4, show more interest in the site you really want to be at. One thing that one of the residency coordinators did, which was really smart, is send a long email to every candidate after their interview, thanking them for coming to that site and for showing interest. The email was very personalized, and the one he sent to me said, "Thanks for sharing your experience growing up in Greece and the personal challenges you faced moving here." And I was like, man, that's really nice of him. And so even if that coordinator sent that thank you email to every single candidate, which I found that he actually did send one to a few of my classmates, I still felt like I was listened to, and I felt like I would be appreciated if I went to that site. In the same manner, what you may want to do is send a thank you email after each interview, and if you're super interested, maybe let the site coordinator know you're planning to rank them. They're not allowed to ask you about your plans to rank, but you can reveal information if you want. The key thing here is only tell your very top sites that you're going to rank them. Because if you tell every interviewer you're going to rank them, not only is that dishonest if you're not going to rank them, but also optometry is a small world, and residency coordinators talk with each other. So if they found out that you've declared to 6 sites that you're ranking them, that might make it a little bit hard for them to believe that you're very interested in their site. Or if you tell a site that you're picking them as number 1, when in reality you're not, and somehow the other coordinators find out you're going to pick a number 1, they might not rank you as number 1 because they expect you to go there. So food for thought, show major interest only when it's genuine, and hope for the best. Which leads to our last tip, which is to trust the process. All right, I know that may be difficult to do, but always remember that it's going to work out, even if you don't get the site that you really want. It really is. Every residency is accredited for a reason. It has been designed to incredibly boost your clinical skills. And if it's not your dream residency, or it's not in the city that you want, it's only a year. It'll go by quick, and chances are you'll enjoy it way more than you think. I'll wrap this video up by mentioning my example. So I ranked 4 out of my 8 sites, and I was really mentally set on going to either of the top 2. Like I was 1,000% confident that I was going to match there, or either of those 2 sites. Especially since I felt like I crushed my interviews, and my resume was top tier at the time. I had the best grades, I had killer board scores, many extracurriculars, all that stuff. Then on match day, my phone went off during clinic. I picked up my phone, looked at my email while thinking, am I going to site that I ranked number 1 or ranked number 2? I wonder. And then the email said Orlando, which I ranked 4th. And it definitely caught me off guard, but the longer I thought about it, the more it seemed like a better fit for me. That was, I think, my best interview. The site is close enough to drive back home once a month, which was important for me to see my family. I felt like I really vibed with the preceptors. Orlando's a fun city, clinic ends at 4 p.m, I want to do sclerals. And turns out after match day, they added a 3rd resident, which was one of my classmates. She's super cool, and we had a fun time and ended up having a great year there and learned a ton and grew professionally. And also, I know someone who went to my number 1 ranked site, and her experience there was not as amazing as I was anticipating it to be had I gone there. You know, of course, I would take everyone's word with a grain of salt. And so everything happens for a reason. And if I could go back, I would not change a single thing about the process. And that's what you have to remember. At the end of the day, you're doing a residency. So anywhere will be a great experience for you. And if you happen to be one of those people that unfortunately doesn't get matched and doesn't end up doing a residency, That's not the end of the world either. Just think of it as missing the opportunity to make only a fourth of a doctor's income for the year. It's a win-win. And if that happens, you could also pursue what I've talked about in the past video, which is pursue a pseudo residency. That's where you work at an ODMD practice and still see a ton of disease. One of my buddies is actually doing that right now, and I swear he sees more disease than I did. Anyways, I hope all these tips helped in your decision to rank your sites. If you liked the video, hit the like button below so that I can get ranked higher on the YouTube algorithm. And also subscribe to the channel for more content. And I will see you at the next video.